Fierce winds are rocking the south coast with thousands of power outages reported. Could it also cause some problems on the water?
We only have about a third of the number of family doctors that Vancouver has.
Surrey pushes a new plan to recruit more family doctors, but some think it's not the city's responsibility.
Lean opening with a wrist shot, scores! Trickle through the legs of Jonathan.
And could the Canucks string together a second straight win? The highlights from New York coming up. Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, December 17th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. We begin with a windstorm that is pushing powerful gusts all over the region. It's plunged thousands of homes in the Lower Mainland into darkness this morning. This is the latest from BC Hydro. It looks like Vancouver is getting the brunt of this. More than 12,000 homes are without power at this hour. The Tri-Cities is getting hit hard as well, with a combined 11,000 outages being reported in Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam and Pitt Meadows. In Surrey, more than 10,000 outages are on the list. And in Burnaby, more than 6,000 customers are without electricity. These blustery conditions are also creating choppy conditions on the water. We have CTV's Reagan Hasegawa joining us now from BC Ferry's Tsawwassen Terminal with the latest on this. Good morning, Reagan. So windy out there this morning. Any problems to report?
Good morning, Carrie. Fortunately, no, not at this point. It's looking quite rough out on the water today, but so far, no cancellations. But we are keeping a very close eye on things, and that's because, according to Environment Canada, there is a special weather statement in effect and warnings for the South Coast. Gusts up to 80 kilometers per hour are expected in Metro Vancouver, up to 100 for parts of the Fraser Valley. The agency says that in the wake of a departing cold front, strong westerly winds will continue over the next couple of hours. This may lead to downed trees, toppled power lines, and travel delays. Winds will ease but remain gusty early this morning as the front tracks back into the BC interior. Tens of thousands lost power overnight, as you mentioned, and many roads are scattered with debris and pooling water. And lights are out at several major intersections. And a reminder to use the four-way stop procedure if you do come across that. So we are expecting an operational update from BC Hydro sometime later this morning. They say they have crews working around the clock to try and restore power. And they're also reminding people that if you do see a downed line this morning, it is considered an emergency. You should call 911 and stay at least 10 meters back. Carrie?
Okay, good reminder. Reagan Hasegawa joining us this morning. Thanks, Reagan. In the meantime, a 27-year-old woman is dead after being struck by a falling tree limb in Chilliwack. An online fundraiser identifies her as Tori Mead, a mother of three. Mounties say the woman was with two children at Island 22 Regional Park when severe winds and heavy rain hit the area and caused a tree to collapse, falling on her. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The children were not hurt. All eyes are on the Coquitlam River as a flood watch has been upgraded to a flood warning. This is the notice from Emergency Info BC. It says the warning is for the Coquitlam River downstream of the Coquitlam Dam. It's urging everyone to stay clear of areas with fast-flowing rivers and potentially unstable riverbanks. The North Shore Rescue Team says they have received an increased number of calls about people falling into the water, people who are familiar with the trails. A flood warning for the North Shore Mountains was downgraded to a watch yesterday. Well, major changes could be coming to Vancouver's downtown east side. After hearing from hundreds of public speakers, Vancouver City Council has approved a zoning overhaul for the area, which will allow for buildings as tall as 32 stories to be built. The city says it's an effort to speed up construction of new social housing. The changes also include replacing SRO stock and lowering the shelter rate from 33% to 20%. The majority of public speakers were opposed to changes, arguing the plan will increase displacement and homelessness by reducing the amount of affordable housing required in new buildings. The motion was approved by a vote of 5-4. Well, Surrey police are investigating this morning after a man was struck by a shuttle-style bus. This happened just before 5 p.m. yesterday near Highway 10 and 180th Street. Video from the scene shows a community shuttle bus and multiple ambulances on the road. Paramedics treated one person at the scene before they were taken to hospital with minor injuries. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Well, there are new charges at a triple stabbing that rocked East Vancouver earlier this fall. Police say 54-year-old Viet Ki John Lee has been charged with a third count of second-degree murder. He was already charged in the stabbing deaths of two women who were found back in September at an apartment near Joyce Street and Van Ness Avenue. A third victim was discovered 2 blocks away with life-threatening injuries and died 6 days later. Lee remains in custody and is due back in court January 13th. Police in Abbotsford have gotten a bird's-eye view of a dangerous driver in a stolen car.
Okay, he's arrestable for dangerous off for sure, to pose an ongoing risk to the public.
It happened last week. The Air One police helicopter was able to track the vehicle from above as officers coordinated efforts on the ground. The driver tried to run away. A spike belt and successful pit maneuver were finally able to bring the car to a stop. 40-year-old Dale McPherson has been charged with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle and flight from police. Well, it's a new approach from Surrey to attract more family doctors to the city. It will be partnering with a primary clinic to make it easier for the clinic to open more locations. On Monday evening, council voted to partner with Total Life Care Granville Medical to launch 2 new clinics next year. The city says staff can streamline the process, source a lease, and better connect with the new medical school at SFU, which will open its doors to students in August. City councillor and mayoral candidate Linda Annis voted against the report, questioning how it will be funded. She added she doesn't believe health care and its costs are a city responsibility.
We only have about a third of the number of family doctors that Vancouver has. So the pressure points on our residents to have a family doctor are sending them to the ER and places that are just increasing the pressure on those facilities.
This is a very slippery slope. If we're starting to provide healthcare services, what next? What about our education? We have 400 portables here in Surrey. Are we going to step in to help that?
The city says there are plans for 10 clinics, and each could have anywhere from 8 to 10 doctors. No budget has been set yet. Canada's National School Food Program is now in action in Coquitlam, feeding thousands of students who would otherwise go without. The food program and breakfast club at Como Lake Middle School is part of Ottawa's billion-dollar investment over 5 years to provide healthy meals to children. The Coquitlam School District serves 33,000 students across 71 schools, and the program helps to support families and students. The district says nutritious meals improve attendance and academic performance.
Ensuring that every child has a nutritious meals at school is more than just about food. It's about supporting health, learning, and equality. We appreciate the federal government's commitment to the National Food Program.
$7.2 million of funding has been allocated across the province. The Vancouver Canucks now have a 2-game winning streak after a convincing win over the New York Rangers.
Kane can skate on. Udon Besser heads off. Here's Kane cutting in front. Scores! Evander Kane came off the right wing boards.
That was Vancouver's first goal en route to a 3-0 victory in the Big Apple. They will look to make it 3 wins in a row on Friday when they face the New York Islanders.
Look at this. Here's a break by Gardner going to the net on the bucket. Scores!
Meanwhile, the Vancouver Golden Eyes have made it 3 straight wins on home ice. They defeated the Ottawa Charge 2-1 last night. The girls will hope to get one more win before Christmas when they take on the Montreal Victoire on Friday. Okay, so pretty good night for the hockey teams, Caroline. Good morning.
Good morning, Carrie. There is hope yet, Vancouver hockey fans. There is hope yet.
Yeah, and good to see that home win for the Golden Eyes.
Love to see it. Love to see it. They love to play on their home ice. All right, let's take a look at the forecast. CTV weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. All right, another day, another board full of warnings. So let's get to it. Winter storm warning is in effect. Merritt to Kamloops and Kelowna areas. Snowfall warning. Hope to Merritt, Princeton to Allison Pass. There's also a snowfall warning in the North Peace River and a wind warning for Fraser Valley. Winds are gusting up to 100 kilometers an hour. Now, there's a special weather statement in place. The purple means wind. So everywhere you see the purple, there's a special weather statement in place, including Metro Vancouver. This is expected to ease as the morning goes on. Speaking of the morning, it is 7 degrees right now. It is rainy. Give yourself some extra time on the roads today because it is messy out there, friends. We're going to hit a high of 8 degrees today. Going to see some breaks. Really. We're getting a bit of a reprieve. It looks really, really awful out there, and it is. But we will see a bit of sunshine today, just a little bit, only for a few hours. That's all I got, friends. What will the weekend look like? I'll have more on the forecast coming up in about 10 minutes. Carrie?
All right. Thanks for that. Well, will it be a white Christmas on the local ski hills? We'll check in on the North Shore Mountains, where so far the ski season's been bleak. But first, a growing travel red flag for Canadians at the American border.
Within seconds, there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
We'll hear from the first-hand account from a Canadian caught in a surging crackdown at the U.S. border. Plus,
what's happening here is the sporting bodies like Skate Canada are protecting their athletes.
Skate Canada sends a chill through Alberta sports, why a new provincial law has prompted the organization to put its events on ice. That's next. Welcome back, everyone. To new signs, the world's longest undefended border is getting unfriendlier. Data is showing a surge in the number of Canadians, including children, being held by U.S. authorities. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
Thousands of people use the Ambassador Bridge every day. It's North America's busiest border crossing. And it was here that Greg Williams was detained by U.S. Border Patrol as he tried to enter the United States.
And then it was turn the car off, hands on the dash, and within seconds, there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
Williams says he was handcuffed and taken into a small room inside the nearby building. He was photographed and fingerprinted before ever knowing why he was being detained.
I wasn't worrying about being sent to some, Ecuadorian supermax, which is very much white privilege of me, that it's like, I don't have to worry about those things, but that's also like, nobody should.
Turns out there's another Greg Williams with some sort of a record that prompted the detention of this Greg Williams, an Ontario musician.
This happened because I have the same name, and that's crazy.
Williams was released after a couple of hours, but his story highlights the growing number of Canadians being caught up in the immigration crackdown underway south of the border. More than 200 Canadians have spent time in ICE custody at some point since January, compared with 137 detained in 2024. Records show at least 6 children were among those detained. While a handful of Canadians had felony convictions or other criminal records, the vast majority were picked up for visa violations or less serious infractions, which experts say marks a major shift in policy.
For the most part, from what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada, but are being detained more frequently. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, Skate Canada is drawing a line by pulling national and international level events from Alberta over transgender athlete rules. Here's CTV's Rachel Aieo on the decision and the province's pushback.
The national governing body for figure skating in Canada says it considers a range of criteria when selecting host locations. And following a careful assessment of Alberta's Fairness and Safety in Sport Act, Skate Canada has determined that it is unable to host events in the province while maintaining its national standards for safe and inclusive sport.
on trans youth.
That Alberta Act is a new provincial law restricting transgender athletes ages 12 and up from participating in female amateur sports. In an icy response, Alberta's sport minister said by choosing to forgo events in Alberta's world-class venues, Skate Canada is denying female athletes opportunities to compete on a safe and level playing field. The boycott will not stop Alberta figure skaters from participating in Skate Canada programming and competitions. And there aren't any upcoming national or international events scheduled in the province. Still, critics of Alberta's policy say the decision sends a clear message.
This is what organizations have warned about, and really this is an incredible hit to Alberta's economy. Tourism and sport is really important in Alberta. I think they may just be the first of many.
What's happening here is the sporting bodies like Skate Canada are protecting their athletes. They're dealing with facts and evidence rather than political ideology.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is now calling on Skate Canada to apologize and adjust its policy. But Skate Canada says it'll monitor legislative developments and reassess if circumstances evolve.
Well, we are in December. When will Metro Vancouver's ski season arrive?
Whatever snow we had up there, we washed it off.
Yeah, skiers, look at this. They're going to have to wait a little longer to hit the slopes. We're going to check in on the North Shore Mountains with snow on their Christmas wish list, I'm sure. That's coming up after the break. And the unique slam dunk, let's put a high school basketball player on the map. That's coming up next.
The Millionaire Lottery is back. Your ticket supports specialized adult health care and research at VGH and UBC Hospital Foundation. They depend on people like you to help fund the latest equipment and life-saving research through the Millionaire Lottery. The early bird is worth over $227,000. Choose from a Corvette Stingray and a Hyundai Santa Fe or a private jet experience plus $25,000 cash or $150,000 cash. Plus, 40 winners will win $1,000 and 20 winners will win $500. The Millionaire Lottery early bird deadline midnight Friday.
Well, a teen in Edmonton is getting a lot of attention for an impressive dunk.
Hitting that dunk and getting swarmed was epic. It was so epic. I didn't practice as much as people might think. It was just a couple times during practice.
Well, yeah, so easy, right? So here's Hunter bounces it off the ceiling, giving him a perfect setup for this perfect dunk. It happened at the annual dunk contest at Jasper Place High School, and as expected, Jordan won. Way to go. I don't know enough about basketball to know if doing it off the ceiling is a thing, but he made it look really easy.
I haven't seen any NBAers do that. Of course, the ceilings are much higher.
No kidding. Yeah, very, very impressive. Good on him. Let's talk about this weather. It was so windy when I was coming in today. There were branches on the road, kind of sketchy.
Yes, and if you see any branches, don't move them yourself. Call someone to have them move them. I was woken up by the wind pounding onto my window, but this wind will dissipate as the morning goes on. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with out there. And yes, it will be clearing. It's very messy. It's very windy and very wet out there right now, but it will be clearing. Might see even a little bit of sunshine today. No, it's not going to be a sunny day, friends, but we will see some breaks in this action until tonight when another system moves in, bringing in more rainfall. That's kind of the trend of this week. Just when you think it clears, it does not, and more rain moves in, and that is what we have in store for us. So today will be the lightest day in terms of rainfall for the next few days. Port Hardy, we're going to see a little bit of sun there today, but some showers and 5 degrees. Mix of sun and cloud in Campbell River and Comox and 10 degrees. Some showers in Tofino and Port Alberni, Nanaimo, Victoria. Some showers, some sun, some cloud. A little bit of everything there. Sechelt, same. Mainly cloudy skies with some showers and a high of 7 degrees. Whistler, some mixing and 2 degrees. Squamish, 8 degrees and showers throughout the day. Mix of sun and cloud. Some clearing as the morning goes on. Yes, it looks very dire out there right now, but it is going to clear up. And that is until tonight when the rain returns because, it's December. All right, here's a look at the 5-day forecast again. Today is going to be the clearest day of this stretch, and then rain, and more rain. Carrie.
Well, that's consistent.
Rain.
Thanks for that. Thanks, Caroline. We'll check back in with you a little bit here. Well, speaking of weather, skiers are still waiting for the start to the season with little snow on the local mountains. Rainstorms and warm December weather have delayed opening on the North Shore. But as CTV's Ben Nesbitt reports, there is hope that change is coming.
With heavy rainfall and above-average temperatures, the snowpack levels on North Shore mountains continue to be lacking. But experts say there is hope. By the end of the week, things could be shifting in the right direction. The empty chairlifts or closed signs aren't what skiers or the mountains want to see 16 days into December. At this time last year, both Cypress and Gross had been open for 3 weeks, while Seymour was just about to open. This season, Environment Canada says the recent very wet weather depleted what were already low snow levels.
When we managed to put those atmosphere rivers and pointed them right at the south coast of British Columbia, we bounded freezing levels up substantially to well over 2,500 meters. And any precipitation that was coming down in the form of rain. So whatever snow we had up there, we washed it off.
None of the three have solidified opening dates yet, but Seymour says it plans to provide an update Thursday, while Cypress says it's ready to go once there's enough snow, pointing out its latest ever opening came 30 years ago on December 23rd. Back then, we didn't have the snowmaking system we have now. We're much better equipped now to respond quickly once Mother Nature gives us the green light, the mountain said in a social media post. And according to EC, that green light could be on its way.
We're seeing much more normal light conditions where the top of the North Shore Mountains is going to be seeing temperatures low enough to produce snowfall.
The cooler temperatures, potentially good news for skiers and snowboarders eager to get their seasons underway. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, West Vancouver.
Wow. I haven't really been checking the mountains, but I had no idea it was that dismal. Wow. Not a lot of snow. Nothing.
Sad and wet.
Yeah. And if you're a skier, especially if you have like a season's pass or something, like you are itching to get out there. So hopefully we get some snow so they can get opening. Plus there's jobs on the line too, right? Like the kids rely on this seasonal work. So hopefully they get that going.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's just wet, and more wet weather.
Okay. Maybe it'll be an early Christmas present. Maybe they'll have to write a letter to Santa. Because if you have written to Santa with your wish list, there is some good news to report. We'll tell you how the Postal Service is working to get the deliveries done so Santa can respond. We'll have that ahead. Plus,
we can never, ever allow them not only to succeed, but any time that they try something, become greater and stronger.
as funerals are held for victims of the Bondi Beach attack, police lay charges against the surviving alleged gunman.
Good morning from Tawasin. We're keeping a close eye on BC ferries this morning after a powerful windstorm knocked out power for tens of thousands of people across the Lower Mainland and the Sunshine Coast. I've got the latest on Your Morning Vancouver.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. A powerful windstorm is whipping through BC, and those gusts as they blow. We are seeing thousands of homes without power around the Lower Mainland this morning. BC Hydro says in total, more than 120,000 BC Hydro customers are in the dark. In Vancouver alone, more than 12,000 homes are without power, and nearly 10,000 outages have been reported in North Vancouver. The Tri-Cities, including Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, and Pitt Meadows combined, has more than 11,000 outages. In Surrey, more than 10,000 homes are in the dark there. And there's also significant outages being reported in Burnaby, Langley, and Abbotsford. Those powerful winds are also raising concerns for coastal travel this morning. Reagan is live at the Tawasin BC Ferries Terminal this morning. Good morning, Reagan. And I imagine crews are really keeping an eye on the conditions there right now.
Good morning, Carrie. That's right. So far, no problems here at Tawasin this morning and nothing across the BC ferry system as of yet. But looking out on the water, it is quite choppy this morning. And because of that, crews are keeping a close eye on things, and they want travelers to keep an eye on things before they head to the terminal as well. So Environment Canada does have a number of special weather statements and warnings across the south coast. Gusts up to 80 kilometers per hour in Metro Vancouver and 100 for parts of the Fraser Valley are expected today. As a cold front exits the region, the strong westerly winds are expected to linger throughout the morning commute. The combination of wind and rain is increasing the risk of falling trees and power lines and causing knock-on effects for transportation. Overnight, tens of thousands of customers lost power across the Lower Mainland. In many areas, crews are dealing with fallen branches, water pooling on roadways, and non-functioning traffic lights. As a reminder, drivers who should treat those intersections as four-way stops.
What exacerbates any wind event we have is the saturated ground. I mean, it's been raining. We've been drenched for the past number of days with more rain expected. The ground's a lot softer, a lot easier for trees to essentially walk out of the ground when the wind hits.
As you mentioned, Carrie, we just got an operational update from BC Hydro this morning. More than 120,000 customers across the Lower Mainland at the peak of the storm. Winds are slowly starting to die down out here, but it's still quite gusty, as you can probably see from my hair this morning. And a reminder, if you do come across a downline, do treat it as emergency. Call 911 and stay at least 10 meters back. Carrie?
Yeah, good advice. Be careful out there, everyone. Reagan Hasegawa joining us this morning. Thank you. Well, an alert system that was supposed to warn people about floods and dangerous conditions is used all over the country. Many are asking why it wasn't used here. The Alert Ready texts are sent twice a year to ensure the system is working. British Columbia continues to lag far behind other provinces in using this technology, despite expanding its use beyond tsunami warnings. The provincial government came under fire for not using the system to warn Fraser Valley residents during the flooding of 2021, and now again last week.
It's supposed to be used to alert British Columbians in the event of natural disasters. Well, if a flood doesn't qualify as a natural disaster, I don't know what the heck does.
Hundreds of people were forced from their homes by floodwaters, but some found out about evacuation orders on social media. The company that makes Alert Ready points out officials can target the text to specific neighborhoods with instructions on what to do. Overseas now, Australians have begun holding funerals for the victims of the massacre at Bondi Beach. It's a heartbreaking process that will be carried out 15 times over the coming days, one for each of the 15 victims gunned down during a Hanukkah celebration. The first funeral was held today for Rabbi Eli Schlenger, a 41-year-old husband and father of 5. He had organized the Hanukkah event by the beach where the horrific attack took place. His father-in-law spoke during the service, at times fighting back tears.
My biggest regret was, apart from, obviously, from the obvious, but from the things that I could have done more, is to tell Ellie more often how much we love him, how much I love him, how much we appreciate everything that he does.
Meanwhile, one of the suspected gunmen alleged to have carried out the mass shootings at Bondi Beach has now been charged. Police today are laying a total of 59 charges against Naveed Akram after he awakened from a coma he'd been in since he was shot during Sunday's attack.
He has been charged with 1 count of commit terrorist act, 15 counts of murder, 40 counts of cause wounding, grievous bodily harm to person with intent to murder.
The maximum penalties for murder and committing a terrorist act in Australia are life imprisonment. Akram's father was killed during the attack. All of the victims identified in the attack so far were Jewish. Well, Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, is expected to make his first court appearance today. He has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection to the deaths of his parents.
Every single inmate goes through a medical clearance before they can be transported to court. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a process. It's just a procedural issue. And he has not yet been medically cleared.
Officials say Reiner was arrested without incident a few hours after the bodies of Rob and Michelle Reiner were found in their home. Police say a knife was used in the killings, but didn't confirm if a murder weapon was found. There is also no word on a possible motive. If convicted, the charges carry a life sentence with no chance of parole. Well, back to Canada now. A new poll shows that 3/4 of Canadians support the construction of new pipelines to BC and the East Coast. That's up by 14 points compared to last year. The Ipsos survey on behalf of the Montreal Economic Institute also found 71% of Canadians find the approval process too long. The pollsters' analysts say it appears that the tariff war with the United States has helped firm up support for pipelines. Canada Post says kids who write to Santa with their wish lists will get a response this year. All letters with the HOHOHO postal code that were mailed by December 8th will be delivered. Exact delivery dates can't be confirmed, but Santa will respond to each letter. Last Christmas, a strike by postal workers meant St. Nick couldn't respond, but he did read each letter. Well, that's good to know. Okay, so, it's nothing more special than getting a letter from Santa.
My gosh, he's got so much to do, making all the toys. Well, I guess his elves make the toys.
Yeah,
he delivers them.
Really more of a supervisor role at this point of his career. So, but it's nice that he's still doing the response to the letters himself and not just getting someone else to do that for him.
He's still very much present in the wishes of all of the children.
No AI. They haven't brought that in yet. Thank goodness.
No, Santa would never allow it. All right, CTV Weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. Yes, another day, another busy board full of warnings. Let's get right to it. A winter storm warning is in effect for Merritt to Kamloops and towards Kelowna. Snowfall warning, Hope to Merritt, Princeton to Allison Pass. Snowfall warning for the North Peace River, and also a wind warning for Fraser Valley. Still in effect, winds gusting up to 100 kilometers an hour. Speaking of wind, special weather statement is in place for all of the areas in purple. I can't even list them. That does include, though, Metro Vancouver. But as the morning goes on, this is expected to be lifted. But the special weather statement for wind is still very much in place for most of the province and even into Alberta. Let's talk about Vancouver right now, shall we? It's rainy, it is windy, and it is 7 degrees. So if you haven't left already, give yourself some extra time on the roads because they are messy this morning. We're going to hit a high of 8 degrees, which is above average, which is above what we hit last year. The record was set back in 1994 when it was 11 degrees. So today we've got a mixed bag. We do have some clearing. That's right. We're going to see a little bit of sunshine, but don't get too excited because tonight another system rolls in, bringing in some more wet weather. But high of 8 degrees, showers, mix of sun and cloud today. And now let's check in with Mona.
A new lottery has landed in BC with proceeds supporting provincial amateur sports organizations managed by Sport BC. The Victory Vault gives people monthly opportunities to win some cold, hard cash while also cheering on their local athletes. And joining us this morning with the details is Sport BC's Vice President of Operations, Allison Mailer, and four-time Olympian Brent Hayden. Good morning to you both.
Great. Good morning.
I'm excited to be talking about this because it's such an important initiative, as we were talking about earlier. So, Allison, I'll start with you. What is Victory Vault?
Great question. Victory Vault is a collaborative new initiative. We've been able to partner with a company called Ascend, people who have been doing 50-50 tickets and participating different charities from that perspective likely have been using Ascend. So they approached us to find a way to kind of have all of our sport organizations work together to try and come up with a new fundraiser. I'm sure everybody watching is aware that costs are going up, and that's the same for sport organizations. Yes. So Sport BC is a bit of an umbrella organization, and we do what we can to support the efforts of the provincial sport organizations. Those are the groups that are helping all the local clubs around the province deliver their sport. So, so Victory Vault is a way to kind of use all of the contacts we all have together to try and raise money to help those provincial sport organizations then help their clubs.
Absolutely. So basically it's a lottery system.
That's right.
That when you buy your tickets, you can also support a local club.
That's right. That's right.
Great.
Yeah.
So Brent, you represented Canada for a decade on the world stage. So obviously that includes your appearances at the Olympics. You've been an aspiring athlete and then have reached the precipice. So you understand what it takes to get there. How important is this kind of funding for aspiring athletes?
You know, it's all about opportunities for young athletes. Without opportunities, there's no chance, right? I know for me, if I didn't have the opportunities to be able to just get involved in sport, who knows where my life would have gone or how things would have been different. But it's all about just making sure that kids have access to be able to join a team or be able to take part in a sport and to just be able to participate. And the thing about sport is that your kids, especially if we're talking about young athletes, they don't need to be aspiring Olympians, to be able to benefit from from being involved in sport. There's so many more things that can benefit the youth that we need to get these kids into sport. It's not always about the Olympics and the medals. It's just about the opportunity to just participate.
Well, on that note, Victory Vault is a win-win situation because by signing up, you can obviously win that cash, but also support local organizations. So thank you both so much for your time with us this morning. And if folks want to purchase their tickets and get in for a chance to win in this month's lottery and beyond, you can head online to the website you see on your screen. Thank you again.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Mona. Well, Santa may not be using AI, but it could be your little helper this holiday season.
The technology is moving very fast. It's literally getting better every single day.
We are hearing tips on how to get the most out of AI chatbots to help with holiday shopping as you look for ways to cash in. We'll take a closer look coming up in our next half hour. But first,
Twin Falls is a beautiful little spot. Absolutely excited to be a part of its future.
Historic chalet nestled in the BC backcountry is set to make a return. We'll explain next. Welcome back, everyone. A boarded-up backcountry lodge in BC's Yoho National Park, which once attracted guests from around the world, is expected to reopen for tourism. Parks Canada has just chosen a new operator for Twin Falls Chalet. CTV's Alicia Fieldberg explains the plans for the site.
A 9-kilometer hike in Yoho National Park leads you to this National Historic Site, which has been boarded up for 5 years, but now has a new operator and is expected to reopen for tourism.
The Twin Falls is a beautiful little spot. Absolutely excited to be a part of its future.
Canadian Pacific Railway built Twin Falls Chalet in 1908 as a hiking destination for rail travelers. Parks Canada owns it, but leases it to operators for a cut of the profits. Since 1962, Fran Drummond had been running it as a tea house, cooking meals and hosting overnight guests with no electricity or plumbing. She was revered for her passion and dedication, but Parks said she was no longer meeting the terms of the agreement, so ended it in 2019.
She's a very important part of the history of the park and history of the tea house. We got to a point where she was no longer able to continue and have meet the requirements of a license of occupation. And that's when we transitioned to seeking a new operator.
Parks wanted it to continue operating as a tea house, but the new group chosen to run it realized that wouldn't be feasible.
Foot traffic is around 50 people per day, which does not provide enough opportunity or traffic for enough revenue to operate it.
Instead, Alpine Club of Canada is now preparing to offer it to visitors as a hut. That means no staff and guests bring their own food and bedding.
You need to collect your water and treat it to make sure you can drink it. You prepare your own food, and everyone helps clean and take care of the facility.
Alpine Club of Canada operates 2 other National Historic Sites in Yoho National Park and says since Twin Falls sits between them, it will give guests a unique opportunity.
It's going to create our first hut-to-hut traverse experience.
The goal is to open for guests in August of 2027. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, Ottawa's new Buy Canadian policy is now in effect.
What we're looking for is meaningful economic activity and Canadian content as we evaluate contracts and bids for federal contracts.
The policy puts the priority on Canadian products and workers for federal contracts. To count as a Canadian supplier, a company needs to have more than just an address here. The company also needs to have meaningful economic activity in Canada. The first phase of the policy applies to contracts worth $25 million or more. Well, technology is always evolving, sometimes for good, sometimes for evil. Coming up, how the Madagascar hissing cockroach might be the spy of the future. Stephen Colbert has your late laugh coming up after the break. But first, named Billboard's top artist with her hit album 21. It went straight to #1 when it was released with hits like Rolling in the Deep. Their milestones are coming up next. for your milestones. First up this morning, happy 15th birthday to Brady. Love from Mom and Dad.
Another 15-year-old, happy 15th birthday to Joey. Love from Mom and Dad.
Happy 65th birthday to Todd. Love from your family and friends.
Happy birthday to Andrew. You're such a great father, partner, brother, and friend. Wishing you an awesome birthday, even if you have to work. Lots of love from Jen and Cypress.
Aww. Happy 50th birthday to Evelyn. May all your wishes and dreams come true. Love from Linda.
Happy birthday to Jonathan. Friends for 40 years now. Just keep being you. Love from Andrew.
A couple of mermaids. Happy 12th birthday to Tia and Nico. Love from all the mommies and all the paws. Send us your milestones to bcmilestones@ctv.ca. A blustery day out there, Caroline.
It is not fun out there, Carrie. It is Wednesday. It is also 6:53. And yeah, it looks peaceful, but no, it is not. We've got a lot of warnings in effect right now, so let's just get right to it, shall we? Snowfall warnings for much of the province. There's a wind warning for Fraser Valley, gusting up to 100 kilometers an hour. We also have a special weather statement in place, not a warning statement. So everywhere you see that's purple is wind, and that does include Metro Vancouver, but this wind warning is expected to dissipate as the morning goes on. So you can see the wintry conditions up in the northeastern part of the province and some showers along the coast. As for your day planner for Vancouver, we are going to see a bit of a break in this weather, but don't get too excited because tonight another system moves in. So we've got some sun, some clouds, and some showers, and 8 degrees today in Vancouver. The Madagascar hissing cockroach is the spy of the future. Of course it is. Here's Stephen Colbert with your late laugh.
Obviously, there's a lot of rough news out there, these days, if you're paying attention. So I always like to jump at the chance to share a feel-good animal story. And we've got another one, because today we learned cockroaches could be the future of spycraft. Okay, no, you're not disgusted, you're interested. Here's the deal. A tech company is taking cockroaches, AKA Nature's restaurant review system, and outfitting the cockroaches with cameras and tiny microphones so they can be sent on missions like in this AI video the company made where roach spies infiltrate an evil warehouse. This way, our cockroaches can bring back priceless intelligence about where the Russians hide their open bags of potato chips. The company also says that the bugs can be used for search and rescue missions. All right, everybody. We've been trapped in this cave for days, but I've got some good news. A bunch of roaches just crawled in. This all comes from a German startup called Swarm Biotactics. And yes, that sounds ominous, but in German it's just Swarm Biotactics. The species of cockroach they selected to infiltrate our enemy's top-secret headquarters is the Madagascar hissing cockroach. Ah, yes, the loudest cockroach. Excellent choice for spying. And for our next top-secret stealth missions, we're sending the Hungarian scream donkeys.
Cockroaches, eh? I mean, like, real ones, or would they make, like, robotic ones? I feel like they would have to, like... I mean, I know they're talking about real ones there, but they would need robotic ones, I think. Because that way they can control it. You can't control a cockroach.
You can't control a cockroach. You can't train them. You can't talk to them.
They're not going to go back to you.
Can you train cockroaches?
After you put a camera on it, they're not going to, like, go find information and then come back to you.
I don't think they know they're going to be gainfully employed. No. I got my information. Got to go back to head office.
Better report in.
And who's going to put the little cameras on their little wings or whatever they have?
They'll find a way.
More questions than answers, Carrie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yuck. Okay, so North Shore ski hills may be lacking snow right now, but one place is definitely open for business. Still to come, we are checking out the views from one of the top ski destinations in the world. Well, this is gorgeous. What made this season opener so special? That is still to come. Also,
he's in full flight mode. We're just going through PD.
Hot pursuit, the view from the air as police in Abbotsford close in on the driver of a stolen vehicle. Yikes. And hold on to your hats. Windy out there this morning. The latest from Environment Canada's wind warnings and how this is impacting the commute. Your top stories are next. More than 100,000 homes don't have power right now as a brutal windstorm blows through the south coast this morning. And it's not just the wind. There's concerns of flooding on the Coquitlam River as a watch is upgraded to a warning.
Liam Overton with a wrist shot. Scores! Trickled through the legs of Jonathan
And
Quick.
could the new-look Vancouver Canucks hold on for a win in the Big Apple? The highlights from New York coming up. Well, good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, December 17th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. We begin with a windstorm that's pushing powerful gusts all over the region. It's plunged thousands of homes in the Lower Mainland into darkness this morning. BC Hydro says more than 120,000 customers don't have power. These are the latest stats from BC Hydro this morning. The worst hit right now is Surrey. More than 18,000 customers are without electricity right now. There are also tens of thousands of customers in the dark in Vancouver, Port Coquitlam, Burnaby, Maple Ridge, and North Vancouver. And those strong winds are also being felt along the coast, creating choppy conditions on the water. CTV's Reagan Hasegawa is live at the BC Ferries Tawasin Terminal for us this morning. Good morning, Reagan. Very windy out there this morning. What are you experiencing?
Good morning, Carrie. Yes, it is quite gusty, but the good news is so far it has been smooth sailing for BC Ferries and we haven't seen any cancellations, though we know once you get on the water it can be a lot choppier, and so they're warning people to be prepared before arriving here. So Environment Canada has issued a number of weather warnings for the south coast. Gusts could reach up to 80 kilometers per hour in Metro Vancouver, as high as 100 in the Fraser Valley. Those winds and heavy rain brought down trees and debris overnight, damaging power lines and electrical equipment. BC Hydro says crews and contractors are working around the clock and restoration efforts are expected to continue through today. Officials are also responding to reports of downed power lines, which are considered an emergency. Anyone who sees that is asked to call 911 and stay back at least 10 meters. And in Abbotsford, the school district says some schools may have late starts or closures today due to power outages. That includes Roberta Bondar, Chief Dan George, South Poplar Traditional, and Alexander Elementary School. So this is a dynamic and unfolding situation this morning. As I mentioned, no problems here at BC Ferries, but they're still advising all travelers to check the current conditions on their website before arriving at any terminals. Carrie?
Yep, good advice. Reagan Hasegawa joining us live this morning. Thanks, Reagan. Well, meanwhile, a warning about the dangers of falling trees and debris. This after a 27-year-old woman in Chilliwack died when she was struck by a falling tree limb. An online fundraiser identifies her as Tori Mead, a mother of three. Mounties say the woman was with two children at Island 22 Regional Park when severe winds and heavy rain hit the area and caused a tree to collapse, falling on her. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The children were not hurt. Well, all eyes are on the Coquitlam River as a flood watch has been upgraded to a flood warning. This as the notice from Emergency Info BC says the warning is for the Coquitlam River downstream of the Coquitlam Dam. It's urging everyone to stay clear of areas with fast-flowing rivers and potentially unstable riverbanks. The North Shore Rescue Team says they have received an increased number of calls about people falling into the water, people who are familiar with the trails. A flood warning for the North Shore Mountains was downgraded to a watch yesterday. Well, major changes could be coming to Vancouver's downtown east side. After hearing from hundreds of public speakers, Vancouver City Council has approved a zoning overhaul for the area, which will allow for buildings as tall as 32 stories to be built. The city says it's in an effort to speed up construction of new social housing. The changes also include replacing SRO stock and lowering the shelter rate from 33 to 20%. The majority of public speakers were opposed to changes. They argue the plan will increase displacement and homelessness by reducing the amount of affordable housing required in new buildings. The motion was approved by a 5-4 vote. Surrey police are investigating this morning after a man was struck by a shuttle-style bus. It happened just before 5 p.m. yesterday near Highway 10 and 180th Street. Video from the scene shows a community shuttle bus and multiple ambulances on the road. Paramedics treated one person at the scene before they were taken to hospital with minor injuries. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Well, there are new charges in a triple stabbing that rocked East Vancouver earlier this fall. Police say 54-year-old Viet Ki John Lee has been charged with a third count of second-degree murder. He was already charged in the stabbing deaths of two women who were found back in September at an apartment near Joyce Street and Van Ness Avenue. A third victim was discovered 2 blocks away with life-threatening injuries and died 6 days later. Lee remains in custody and is due back in court January 13th. Police in Abbotsford have gotten a bird's-eye view of a dangerous driver in a stolen car.
Ooh. Okay, he's arrestable for dangerous off for sure, to pose an ongoing risk to the public.
It happened last week. The Air One police helicopter was able to track the vehicle from above as officers coordinated efforts on the ground. The driver tried to run away. A spike belt and successful pit maneuver were finally able to bring the car to a stop. 40-year-old Dale McPherson's been charged with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle and flight from police. Well, Canada's National School Food Program is now in action in Coquitlam, feeding thousands of students who would otherwise go without. The food program and breakfast club at Como Lake Middle School is part of Ottawa's billion-dollar investment over 5 years to provide healthy meals to children. The Coquitlam School District serves 33,000 students across 71 schools, and the program helps to support families and students. The district says nutritious meals improve attendance and academic performance.
Ensuring that every child has nutritious meals at school is more than just about food. It's about supporting health, learning, and equality. We appreciate the federal government's commitment to the National Food Program.
$7.2 million of funding has been allocated across the province. Well, the Vancouver Canucks now have a 2-game winning streak after a convincing win over the New York Rangers.
Kane can skate on. Unen Besser heads off. Here's Kane cutting in front. Scores! Evander Kane came off the right wing boards.
That was Vancouver's first goal en route to a 3-0 victory in the Big Apple. They will look to make it 3 wins in a row on Friday when they face the New York Islanders.
Look at this. Here's a break by Gardner going to the net on the bucket. Scores!
Meanwhile, the Vancouver Golden Eyes have made it 3 straight wins on home ice. They defeated the Ottawa Charge 2-1 last night. The girls will hope to get one more win in before Christmas when they take on the Montreal Victoire on Friday. Way to go. Well, if you like to ski, this will look like heaven to you. The opening of ski season in the French Alps brought plenty of snow and sunshine. Wow. Even better, it wasn't too busy, so those who did come out were enjoying these conditions uncrowded. Last year, about 48.2 million skiers hit the slopes in the Alps. Wow. That does look like heaven. No lineups at the lift? Wow.
That never happens.
No kidding. Gosh, a note to self, go to the French Alps for opening day.
All right, let's go. We have time to call in sick.
My little throat sore. My throat's sore. Take off.
Off to the Alps. Don't post it. Don't post the pictures. All right, let's take a look at the forecast. Beginning with the current temperatures throughout the lower mainland. Whoa, as I trip on these risers here. Yes, we have risers in the weather nook. 6 in Chilliwack, 7 in White Rock, 7 in Vancouver. But the big story is all of the wind. The wind warning. Look, it's lifted. A few minutes ago it was there, but the wind warning has been lifted, so ignore that one. But the snowfall warnings are still very much in effect for everywhere else in the province that's listed there. So yes, the wind warning has been lifted for Metro Vancouver, but a special weather statement is still in place for everywhere else in purple and into Alberta. So it is still very windy out there, but in Vancouver, it looks like it's been cleared in the last few minutes. Today, though, we're going to hit a high of 8 degrees, a little bit of sun, a little bit of cloud, a little bit of showers. But just when you think the system is cleared, no, it doesn't. The rain returns, bringing in more More rain. Rain returns, bringing in more rain. That is my my masterful weather analysis today. Carrie, let's just send it right back to Carrie. I can't speak anymore.
Okay,
rain.
Fair enough. I'm on it.
Rain.
Thanks for that. Okay, 7:10 right now. Let's take a look at the roads. We have some traffic for you and a live shot of the Patella Bridge. Yeah, wet out there this morning. No problems to report on this span. That's good news, but a slow go through Abbotsford right now. A crash on Highway 1 westbound between number 3 Road and Whatcom is blocking the left lane. Expect some big delays through there. Well, are Canadians still boycotting the U.S. when it comes to international travel?
40% year over year in travel into the U.S.
While Canadians are still avoiding the U.S., it doesn't mean they're traveling less. We're taking a look at the latest travel trends a bit later. But first, dealing with the aftermath, but also looking to the future. We're hearing from an expert about steps BC can take to prevent future flooding in the Fraser Valley. What are the solutions? Stay with us. With parts of BC dealing with a major flooding event, questions are being asked about how can we avoid another situation like this in the future. We're joined now by Professor Brent Ward from Simon Fraser University with a little bit of perspective. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, we've seen the damage that's been caused, roads closed in Abbotsford, evacuation orders and alerts because of major flooding, and we've seen this happen in the past. So what is some of the big steps that BC could do to help prevent this from happening again?
Yeah, it's pretty complicated. The issue with the Sumas Prairie is it used to be a lake. And then, you know, the Dutch colonizers drained it. And the problem is it's a very low part on the topography. And complicating matters more is the waters coming from the States. So really, like to do that kind of protection, you'd need a dike across the border into the States. And even with a more friendly administration in the States, it's complicated because that water that comes into Canada doesn't affect downstream communities in Washington. So they're not crazy about the idea anyway, and it's definitely not going to happen right now.
Yeah, okay, so I know that the mayor of Abbotsford is blaming inaction from Canada's federal government on this issue. They say they didn't implement a flood mitigation plan back in 2021. Do you agree with that?
Well, it's really hard. I think the problem with it when we have a big natural disaster is there's lots of motivation to do stuff. And then as it's not as front and center, other things take priority. And so, yeah, I suspect all, you know, the provincial and federal government have not done as much as they could have. But like I said, it's a very complicated issue with the cross-border aspects of it.
Yeah, and let's dive into that a little bit more. I mean, the mayor of Abbotsford also thinks that Washington State could be doing more, and you've certainly touched on this. Perhaps an international treaty. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Well, I think eventually that will definitely have to happen. I mean, we have international treaties about water crossing borders, and so the same thing probably needs to happen here. But like I said, it's complicated because the less water that comes into Canada, the more water goes downstream on the Nooksack and causes higher flooding.
One more thing to negotiate with the Americans on, I guess.
Yeah, right.
The federal transport minister was here yesterday and stopped by our set and said that we need to, quote, accept that these major weather events are just going to be a fact of life. Do you agree with that? And then what do we do from there?
Yeah, well, they will be. I mean, these atmospheric rivers, you know, the trend is that we're getting more of them, that they're getting bigger. And so we can expect that we're going to have more flooding. And so the issue, it's complicated and very difficult, but what do we do? And if people are living in an old lake bed that can easily fill up with water, maybe we need to start moving those people out, right? I mean, it can be great farmland, still be used, but maybe don't put large barns with chickens on it in an area that floods repeatedly. Same with dairy cattle, right? So again, it's controversial. You know, it's very difficult politically to try to motivate people to move, but it's not just the lake bed. There's also lots of areas of floodplain in BC that flood repeatedly, and do we want people to continue to rebuild when they're just going to get flooded again.
Yeah, that is a controversial thing, because these are people's homes, their livelihoods.
Yeah, and they may have been there for generations, right? But they can still use the land, maybe just don't live there.
With climate change, and it's increasingly becoming evident that communities are having to adjust. I mean, they have to make some really hard decisions, don't they?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough next couple decades for sure.
All right. Well, Brent Ward from Simon Fraser University, thanks for joining us this morning with your perspective. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Well, are you confident in your retirement savings? Coming up, we're going to get some tips on how to do a review of your pension portfolio and maximize it. That is still to come. But first,
the technology is moving very fast. It's literally getting better every single day.
we're getting some tips on how to get the most out of AI chatbots to help with your holiday shopping. Stay with us.
The Millionaire Lottery is back. Your tickets support specialized adult health care and research at VGH and UBC Hospital Foundation. They depend on people like you to help fund the latest equipment and life-saving research through the Millionaire Lottery. The early bird is worth over $227,000. Choose from a Corvette Stingray and a Hyundai Santa Fe, or a private jet experience plus $25,000 cash or $150,000 cash, plus 40 winners for $1,000 and 20 winners of $500. The Millionaire Lottery early bird deadline midnight Friday. Welcome back to CTV Your Morning Vancouver. It is 7:22. It is Wednesday, and it is a rough one out there yet again. Let's begin with all of the weather warnings. Snowfall warnings in effect for parts of the southern interior and also the North Peace region. So, yes, very, very blustery out there. As for the south coast, Port Hardy, going to see a mix of sun and cloud and some showers today. 5 degrees, mix of sun and cloud in Campbell River and Comox. You're going to see the sun there. Port Alberni, Tofino, some showers throughout the day and high of 8 in Tofino. Nanaimo, Victoria, mainly cloudy with some showers and a high of 9 degrees. Same for the Sunshine Coast, up 7 degrees. Whistler, some mixing, 2 degrees there. Squamish, showers on and off throughout the day and a high of 8. As for the lower mainland, yes, the mess that we see out there is on the way out, friends. It is clearing. We are going to see the sun today, but don't get excited. It's going to last maybe a few hours before the rain returns yet again, because December, yes. And here's a look at your 5-day. Again, today it's going to be the clearest of these 5 days. But tonight and into tomorrow, another system moves in, bringing in more rainfall, and that will last through the weekend. Happy weekend. And because of all this rain, this is a beautiful shot that I chose here. Thank you, Bob, for setting this in from Steveston. Imagine sitting on that patio. Not going to happen anytime soon. If you want your photo featured, email us at scenicSnapshot@ctv.ca. Love this photo.
Yeah, that's a nice little memory, isn't it? I mean, you can sit on the patio. You're just going to get drenched. Yeah. Or maybe blown away, one or the other. Yeah. All right. It is 7:23. AI is playing a bigger role than ever in holiday shopping this year, whether you're using it for gift ideas or to sort out deliveries and returns. So how do you make sure that those customer service chatbots are working for you instead of against you? ABC's Becky Worley reports.
If you've shopped online, at some point you've needed help from customer service. And that's where AI is entering the chat. Or, in this case, entering with a chat bot. Big companies like Lululemon, Pandora Jewelry, and Williams-Sonoma are constantly honing these customer service chatbots. I went to Dreamforce, the largest AI event in the world, where Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff gives me tips about the AI agents that tools from his company run in the background of thousands of e-commerce sites. His first piece of advice: give these AI agents a chance.
I tried a lot of these agents when they first came out, and sometimes they just couldn't do the job. Have they gotten better?
The technology is moving very fast. It's literally getting better every single day, and it learns more the more that you use it.
Next, whenever you talk to an AI agent, make sure you're logged in so they have your history, like if you have to send a product back.
You will just say, I'm initiating a return, and it's going to start. The process will start, and it knows you because you've already been working with that company.
And many bots these days can authorize a return or track your shipment without ever escalating to a person.
So I need my delivery split, or where's my order? Those are things that the AI agent can help you with.
Now remember, these aren't search engines. Ask questions like you're talking to a human.
Talk to it, just use your own language. Just speak to it like we're speaking right now.
And many bots speak other languages, so you could try your native tongue if that's more comfortable. Finally, these AI agents are just the first level of customer service.
If at some point it's not working, if you're using Salesforce's system, at any moment you can always say, please escalate me to a human. They just want to make sure you're happy.
Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
Oh, this gives me anxiety. I try these chat bots. I try, and they never can give me what I'm looking for. And they say talk in your own language. Sometimes my language is not TV friendly when I'm talking to those chat bots because I don't like them.
No, I do think we have to use them, though. Like, we don't have a choice. This is what a lot of companies' front lines are. They don't have probably the human force to answer everyone's question at the same time, but they want you to get quick care. But I tried it last week with Amazon, and I was able to initiate a return because it connected me to a human.
But because you got a human.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's the front line, so you have to tell it what you need, and it will connect you.
But sometimes they don't give you the human. They just kick you out, or they just, try again later.
Tell you to kick her off.
That's what I was going to say. Every time I ask for a human, they're like, oh, have we satisfied your question? No, give me a person. And then I end up
frustrating.
Having a tantrum.
I think give it a chance, ladies.
Well, I feel like I have, and I will, and I have no choice but to keep giving it a chance. They're making us give it a chance. All right. Well, when it comes to international travel, what kind of choices and chances are Canadians taking?
We're down close to 40% year over year in travel into the U.S.
Taking a look at the latest travel trends and whether Canadians are still boycotting the United States.
We can never, ever allow them not only to succeed, but any time that they try something, they become greater and stronger.
As funerals are held for victims of the Bondi Beach attack, police lay charges against the surviving alleged gunman.
Good morning from Tawasin. We're keeping a close eye on BC ferries this morning after a powerful windstorm knocked out power for tens of thousands of people across the Lower Mainland and the Sunshine Coast. I've got the latest on Your Morning Vancouver.
Thanks for joining us. A powerful windstorm is whipping through BC, and as those gusts blow, BC Hydro says more than 120,000 customers don't have power right now. These are the latest statistics from BC Hydro this morning. The worst hit area is Surrey. More than 18,000 customers don't have electricity. There are also tens of thousands of customers in the dark in Vancouver, Port Coquitlam, Burnaby, Maple Ridge, and North Vancouver. Travel is one of the big question marks this morning. Our Reagan Hasegawa is live at the Tawasin BC Ferries Terminal. Good morning, Reagan. So what are people heading out early running into there?
Good morning, Carrie. Well, fortunately here at BC Ferries, it is smooth sailing, and we've just learned that the weather warning for the wind has now ended. So it does appear that we are through the worst of it, but it could be a treacherous drive for you this morning still, as we know there's a number of down power lines and trees to be aware of this morning. So Environment Canada had issued those weather warnings for overnight. We saw wind gusts of up to 100 kilometers per hour in Metro Vancouver and, in the Fraser Valley, and 80 and Metro Vancouver. Those conditions combined with heavy rain brought down trees and debris overnight, damaging power lines and electrical equipment. BC Hydro says crews have been working around the clock and restoration efforts are expected to continue throughout the day. Officials have been responding to reports of the down power lines, which are considered an emergency, and anyone who is comes across those are asked to call 911 and to stay back at least 10 meters. And in Abbotsford, the school district says some schools may face late starts or closures due to the power outages. That's Dr. Roberta Bondar, Chief Dan George, South Poplar Traditional, and Alexander Elementary.
Whenever there is a safety hazard, such as a downline in the field, that's where our crews will attend to first. Priority will then shift to where we can make the most bang for our buck. So if there's a transmission line that can restore power to about 5,000 customers, we'll look at that first over a line that can restore power to only 20 customers. And from there, we'll go to more of the localized damage.
So the wind warning has now ended, but unfortunately the cleanup now begins. And we know there are tens of thousands of power outages for crews to get on top of. Fortunately, things are starting to calm down here and no problems at BC Ferries this morning. Carrie?
Okay, well, that's good news. Reagan Hasegawa joining us live this morning. Thanks, Reagan. Well, an alert system that was supposed to warn people about floods and dangerous conditions is used all over the country. Many are asking why it isn't used here. The Alert Ready texts are sent twice a year to ensure that the system is working. British Columbia continues to lag far behind other provinces in using the technology, despite expanding its use beyond tsunami warnings. The provincial government came under fire for not using the system to warn Fraser Valley residents during the flooding in 2021, and now again last week.
It's supposed to be used to alert British Columbians in the event of natural disasters. Well, if a flood doesn't qualify as a natural disaster, I don't know what the heck does.
Hundreds of people were forced from their homes by floodwaters, but some found out about evacuation orders on social media. The company that makes Alert Ready points out officials can target the text to specific neighborhoods with instructions on what to do. Overseas now, Australians have begun holding funerals for the victims of the massacre at Bondi Beach. It's a heartbreaking process that will be carried out 15 times over the coming days, one for each of the 15 victims gunned down during a Hanukkah celebration. The first funeral was held today for Rabbi Eli Schlenger, a 41-year-old husband and father of 5. He had organized the Hanukkah event by the beach where the horrific attack took place. His father-in-law spoke during the service, at times fighting back tears.
My biggest regret was, apart from, obviously, from the obvious, but from the things that I could have done more, is to tell Ellie more often how much we love him, how much I love him, how much we appreciate everything that he does.
Meantime, one of the suspected gunmen alleged to have carried out the mass shooting at Bondi Beach has now been charged. Police today are laying a total of 59 charges against Naveed Akram after he awakened from a coma he'd been in since he was shot during Sunday's attack. Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, is expected to make his first court appearance today. He has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection to the deaths of his parents.
Every single inmate goes through a medical clearance before they can be transported to court. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a process. It's just a procedural issue. And he has not yet been medically cleared.
Officials say Reiner was arrested without incident a few hours after the bodies of Rob and Michelle Reiner were found in their home. Police say a knife was used in the killings, but didn't confirm if a murder weapon was found. There was also no word on a possible motive. If convicted, the charges carry a life sentence with no chance of parole. To the latest now on the case of Matthew Perry, the second of 2 doctors who pleaded guilty in connection with the actor's overdose death, is learning his fate. ABC's Laura Spencer has details.
Mark Chavez, the second doctor convicted in the overdose death of actor Matthew Perry, is avoiding prison altogether.
My heart goes out to the Perry family.
Chavez sentenced to 8 months of home detention, 3 years of supervised release, and 300 hours of community service after admitting to illegally providing Perry with large amounts of the powerful anesthetic ketamine.
We believe that this is a fair and just outcome for this case.
Prosecutors say Chavez, along with fellow doctor Salvador Plasencia, took advantage of Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. Perry writing candidly in his 2022 memoir that ketamine felt like a giant exhale.
Taking K is like being hit in the head with a giant happy shovel. But the hangover was rough and outweighed the shovel.
5 defendants in the case have all pleaded guilty. Salvador Plasencia sentenced earlier this month to 2.5 years. Although neither Plasencia nor Chavez provided the fatal dose of ketamine to Perry, prosecutors say their conduct as doctors was egregious.
The different roles between the two doctors is that one was considered the ringleader. He solicited the patient, being Matthew Perry. On the other hand, Dr. Chavez was a supplier of the ketamine to Dr. Plasencia. He was not interacting with Matthew Perry.
Well, Warner Brothers is telling its shareholders to reject a takeover bid from Paramount Skydance. In a letter to shareholders, the Warner Brothers Discovery Board urged shareholders to reject Paramount's, quote, unsolicited, inferior, and illusory tender offer. The board is instead advising that a rival bid from Netflix will be better for customers. It's now up to the shareholders to decide on Paramount's bid to take over the entire company. The Netflix offer does not include Warner's cable operations. Alberta's premier is demanding an apology. This after the national governing body for figure skating in Canada said it would not hold national and international level events in Alberta. It's all over the province's rules surrounding transgender athletes. On social media, Premier Danielle Smith writes, women and girls have the right to play competitive sports in a safe and fair environment against other biological females. She goes on to say, Skate Canada's refusal to hold events in Alberta because we choose to protect women and girls in sport is disgraceful. The new Alberta law says only people born female can compete in women's sports. One of the largest private land conservation projects in Canada's history has been announced, protecting a key wildlife migration corridor in southeastern BC.
This investment will help complete the acquisition and long-term protection of key forest lands in the Kootenays and will restore damaged landscapes, transitioning lands from industrial forestry to conservation-focused management.
The Nature Conservancy of Canada reached the agreement with a variety of government, industry, and First Nations partners. The Kootenay forest lands make up more than 100,000 acres of forest and high-elevation grasslands and are home to at-risk species like grizzlies and bullhorn sheep. Well, a massive inflatable Santa has become a local attraction in Timmins, Ontario.
I was just Googling stuff one day and I come across small Santas, so I Googled world's largest Santa. And he came up.
There he is. Mark Letourneau's lawn ornament stands 12 meters tall and cost him about $2,500. Mark says he did it to bring joy to his community over the holidays. And look at the size of Santa's sack there. What it's got in there. What does Santa have in this sack?
That's a big Santa.
Yeah, it was huge.
Bringing joy to us here, not just in Timmins, Ontario.
I'm sure it's kind of like a landmark in Timmins, right? Where do you live? I just live down the block from the giant Santa.
Yeah, 2 houses down from Santa. Yeah. Love it. Well, he's bringing smiles to many faces. All right, let's take a look at the forecast. Some smiles here because the wind warning and the special weather statement has been lifted in terms of the wind for this area. So that's the good news. Chilliwack, 6 degrees, 7 in Vancouver, 4 in West Van. Again, the statement has been lifted for Vancouver and Fraser Valley, but the wind warning is still our special weather statement, not a wind warning. I must clarify. Special weather statement for wind is still very much in effect for much of the province. Warnings are still in effect for the snowfall for parts of the southern interior and in toward the northeastern part of the province. But again, the wind has died down for Metro Vancouver and Fraser Valley. So you can see the winter conditions all throughout the province, minus 21 in Fort St. John, and it'll be snowing in Prince George today. As for your almanac for Vancouver, today. We'll hit a high of 8 degrees, which is above average, which is above what we hit last year, and pretty close to the record, which was set back in 1994 when we hit 11 degrees. We were much warmer than 11 degrees earlier in the week. But today, the showers continue. We do have a bit of a clearing trend, so we'll see a little bit of sunshine, but don't get excited, friends. It's not going to be a sunny day because another system moves in, bringing in more wet weather, and that will continue throughout the weekend. I'll have more on what to expect for the rest of the week and the weekend coming up in the forecast in about 10 minutes. Carrie.
Okay, thanks for that, Caroline. Well, many Canadians are still avoiding travel to the United States due to trade tensions and other economic factors. Even though trips down to the U.S. are down, travel companies say the number of Canadians packing their bags for a vacation has actually increased. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
When it comes to Canadians choosing to travel to U.S. destinations, Flight Centre says its bookings were down substantially in 2025, and it expects that to continue into next year.
We're down close to 40% year over year in travel into the U.S.
G Adventures, a company that specializes in small group adventure travel, has noticed the same trend.
While our bookings in the United States are down, it doesn't mean that Canadians are traveling less. They're simply choosing different destinations.
So where are Canadians going? According to Flight Centre, there has been a huge increase in interest to travel to Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia, Japan, Colombia, and Switzerland. Many people are looking for good value and are willing to travel further and stay longer.
We've seen an incredible increase to somewhere like Japan, where their dollar does stretch a bit further. Places like Australia, the Canadian dollar is stronger than the Australian dollar. So Canadians, once they get there, they feel that they can really stretch their dollar.
G Adventure says its top destinations for next year include Peru, Morocco, Costa Rica, Thailand, and Japan. It's also finding travelers want to vacation when it's less crowded.
People are trying to avoid the kind of over tourism. So they're choosing to travel during quieter times, so it's not quite as busy. And they also save some money doing that as well.
And more people are also choosing to go on trips by themselves.
We're really popular with solo travelers. Female solo travelers are our largest demographic.
Both companies say most travel spots are filled for the upcoming holiday period, but many people are booking fun in the sun trips for January, February, and March. Larger destination vacations are being booked now for next summer.
Well, do you have one neighbor that really goes all out for the holidays? There it is. The man that's capturing viral fame because of his over-the-top decorations. It's even landing him some side gigs. We'll have that still to come. But first, some tips on how to do a review of your pension portfolio and maximize it. This is important. We'll have that coming up after the break. With the end of the year nearly upon us, many Canadians are pondering how they could sharpen their pension vision. What is the next step to secure your retirement savings? Here to discuss your options, Peter Sashecki from Everything Financial. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Okay, so this is something that people should do, a review of their pension portfolio. Why is it important to do this at this time?
Well, looking at your pension, Carrie, is important if you're thinking about retirement or if you're thinking about a job change. It becomes very important as you get closer to age 50 and 55 because some pensions, you'll lose the ability to transfer that pension to your own investment company or your own portfolio manager. It's called commuting your pension. So you don't want to let that opportunity pass you by, especially if you're thinking of going into maybe contract work, kind of semi-retirement, or just a job change in general.
I think a lot of people think, to make changes to your pension, to access it, you need to be retiring. But this is also something to do for people who are still working. So how can those folks maximize their pension?
Absolutely, Carrie. So what you want to look at is seeing if you have the opportunity to transfer your pension, looking at, and sometimes it's not pension, sometimes it's also a locked-in RSP plan or some sort of matching program at your work, and looking at what you're making in that program or how it's invested, and what choices you have to move it to your own investment company. So in the end, when you are officially fully retired, you have control of your money. You have control of how much income you want to take from your money, and also the control of leaving that money to your spouse, or even creating a legacy that you leave to your children later on, as opposed to leaving the money behind in the pension company when you pass away.
Someone with a health challenge, Peter, that could ultimately lead to a decreased life expectancy, what are their options?
Well, that's a great one, Carrie, because not really for the person, obviously, but if you have a pension and you're in control of your pension as opposed to the pension company, you could change the income. You could increase that income to a certain level, spend more of the money while you're alive and healthy enough to do it, as opposed to having that money disappear upon your death or go to your spouse, and then if they pass away, it would disappear and never get to your children or grandchildren or whatever the case may be. So the whole point is you being in control of your money. You decide how to spend it and how much to spend it. And a shorter life expectancy diagnosis would be one of those instances where you go, you know what? I may not be here for too much longer, but I'm healthy now. So I want to do more of these things with my family, and I want to spend more of that pension money as opposed to leaving it behind.
Yeah, use it for some of the quality of life things to make yourself feel happier and more comfortable. And for the parent thinking about leaving a legacy for their kids, do you have any ideas on how they could handle that as it relates to pensions?
Well, that is a huge option, because if you take your pension and you're in charge of it, as opposed to this joint last survivor type option, you leave your pension, it's like an RSP. It moves over in the same tax treatment to your spouse, and they can have the money. And then you could look at estate planning scenarios to reduce the taxes on that pension, but still leave the money to your kids. Now, if it's still in the form of RSPs or what's called the LIRA, which is a similar type device, it would be taxed, but I'd rather leave half my pension to my kids, and even though half of it might go to the government in tax, than leave nothing to my kids. And that's the situation you get in if the pension company is in control of your money. In most cases, nothing's going to be left behind. So I'd rather leave something rather than nothing and create a bit of a legacy.
Yeah, okay, good information this morning. Are you all ready for the holidays, Peter?
Already a few more days, and then that's it. Time to take some time off.
Good for you. I think you deserve it. Peter Sashecki, Everything Financial. Thanks for joining us this morning, Peter. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Carrie. Have a great day.
All right, well, you may have heard of raclette cheese. This raclette experience switches out the cheese for chocolate. Your Wednesday morning sidebar is still to come. I'm going to keep talking like this right to break.
Welcome back to CTV Your Morning Vancouver. Well, in case you were wondering, it's clearing out there.
So we're laughing because I asked a question and I think the audio came through.
Well, since you asked, it's clearing out there.
Yeah.
We're going to see a little bit of sunshine today, but don't get too excited. Don't go making patio plans because the rain returns.
It's so brutal out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get just a couple hours of life.
Yeah. There we go. All right, well, let's have a laugh. It's time for your sidebar.
Perfect.
All right, we kick things off with a tiny tot who is a singing sensation. Hand grab. Selena would be so proud of little Leona, who's just 2 years old, singing My Heart Will Go On while standing on a coffee table, bare feet and all.
Next thing you know, she's going to walk around the room and shake people's hands. Wow, what a beauty. Love
so
that.
cute.
That's the best cover I've heard of that song. Very nice.
I love her dress, too. Now to some ooey gooey goodness, just in time for the holidays.
My dream.
Yeah, this is the world's first chocolate raclette. Copying, of course, the original cheesy Swiss dish. This street treat can be found in Singapore. And you know what? They also have like chocolate wheels everywhere, like at a lot of the Christmas markets. They have them at shipyards.
Chocolate wheels?
Yeah, like the melting chocolate
The
wheels.
fountain.
Yeah,
Yes. Those are so great. And they have raclette at the Christmas markets too, which I would prefer over the chocolate because I have a savory tooth rather than a sweet tooth, but that does look so good.
I would start with the cheese and go to the chocolate.
Yeah, both.
Treat yourself.
Absolutely.
Holidays. Finally, 'tis the season to dance.
Let me tell you. Girl, you my little boo thing. So I'll give a hoot what you do, say, girl, I know.
Yeah, labels are getting into the spirit.
Feeling my moves.
Yeah, whether it's Elf or the Grinch, everyone's getting into those windy conditions. How good is
so cute. This is a huge creature, but this one, wow.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned about the elf.
I do have to tell you guys that this is AI.
No!
It is.
No,
but it's
not.
so funny. Yes, it is.
Okay, why is AI ruining everything?
I know. I was really sitting here debating, like, should I tell them? Should I not?
Well, I'm glad you were honest.
In the spirit of transparency, I do have to tell you. But it's still funny, and you gotta laugh.
It was pretty funny.
It's like completely ruined the mood.
Unintended.
Deflated. I tried. That's all for your sidebar.
Okay. Thanks for that. All right. Well, sometimes if you want to win, you need to get creative. Still to come, the unique slam dunk that put a Canadian high school basketball player on the map. We'll show you just ahead. Also, you may be prepared for the holiday season, but are you ready for the cleanup? Which items can go in the recycling bin so you can stay off the naughty list? And hold on to your hats. It is windy out there this morning. The latest on weather alerts and how it's affecting the day ahead. Your top stories are next. BC Hydro crews race to restore power to more than 80,000 customers plunged into the dark this morning amid a fierce windstorm. Alberta's premier wants an apology from Skate Canada. It comes as the group refuses to hold events in that province over a new gender law. And you've got to see this wild police video that shows a bird's eye view of a dangerous driver weaving through Abbotsford roads. Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, December 17th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. We begin with a windstorm that's pushing powerful gusts all over the region. It's plunged thousands of homes in the Lower Mainland into darkness this morning. BC Hydro says more than 80,000 customers don't have power right now. These are the latest statistics from BC Hydro this morning. There's more than 11,000 customers without power in the Burnaby area. Also, 1,000 customers in the dark in North Vancouver, Maple Ridge, Langley, and Burnaby. So a lot of power outages this morning. The situation is improving, but still a lot of people in the dark, and those strong winds are also being felt along the coast, creating some choppy conditions on the water. Reagan has been tracking the situation at BC Ferries for us this morning. Good morning, Reagan. So what are you seeing there?
Good morning, Carrie. Well, it now feels like we're in the calm after the storm. The wind warnings have now officially ended for Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. Unfortunately, because the peak of the storm happened in the middle of the night, there ended up being no impacts to BC Ferries customers. So travelers very happy about that. So let's recap what we saw in the overnight. In Metro Vancouver, we saw gusts up to 80 kilometers per hour. In the Fraser Valley, up to 100. Those winds and heavy rain brought down trees and debris overnight, damaging power lines and electrical equipment. BC Hydro says crews and contractors have been working around the clock on restoration. Officials also responding to reports of down lines that are considered an emergency. So anyone who comes across one of those needs to call 911 and stay back at least 10 meters. In Abbotsford, the school district says some schools may have late starts or closures today due to power outages. That includes Dr. Roberta Bondar, Chief Dan George, South Poplar Traditional, and Alexander Elementary.
My understanding is the hardest part of the storm took place overnight. Of course, we're going to be seeing some winds this morning, but in these types of weather events, what customers can potentially see is have their power restored, and because of the winds that are persisting throughout the day, they may incur another power outage. So that being said, it's difficult to predict how much damage a storm will cause.
So while the winds have finally calmed down this morning, now the real work begins as crews try to get on top of those thousands of power outages across the Lower Mainland. Carrie?
Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us live this morning. Thanks, Reagan. Well, meanwhile, a warning about the dangers of falling trees and debris. This after a 27-year-old woman in Chilliwack died when she was struck by a falling tree limb. An online fundraiser identifies her as Tori Mead, a mother of 3. Mounties say a woman was with 2 children at Island 22 Regional Park when severe winds and heavy rain hit the area and caused a tree to collapse, falling on her. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The children were not hurt. All eyes are on the Coquitlam River as a flood watch has been upgraded to a flood warning. This is the notice from Emergency Info BC. It says the warning is for the Coquitlam River downstream of the Coquitlam Dam. It's urging everyone to stay clear of areas with fast-flowing rivers and potentially unstable riverbanks. The North Shore Rescue Team says they've received an increased number of calls about people falling into the water, people who are familiar with the trails. A flood warning for the North Shore Mountains was downgraded to a watch yesterday. Alberta's premier is demanding an apology after Skate Canada said it would not hold national and international level events in Alberta. This is over the province's transgender athlete rules. CTV's Scott Hurst joins us now with more on this story. Good morning to you, Scott. Walk us through Skate Canada's decision and tell us more about the Alberta law that it has based its decision on.
Good morning, Carrie. This announcement by Skate Canada appears to be setting up a clash between figure skating's governing body and the province of Alberta, with Skate Canada coming out and saying it is drawing a line, and the province is now what it says will be a no-go zone for national and international events. The decision, it says, is based on a provincial law, the Fairness and Safety in Sport Act, which came into effect on September 1st. That prohibits transgender athletes from participating in female-only sports. Skate Canada says it considers a range of criteria when selecting host locations, and in a statement it reads in part, it is unable to host events in the province while maintaining its national standards for safe and inclusive sport. The decision, however, will not stop Alberta athletes from participating in Skate Canada programming and competitions. Carrie, we should point out at this time, there are no scheduled upcoming national or international events that are set to take place in the province.
All right. So what has the reaction been, Scott, to Skate Canada's decision?
Carrie, as you might expect, the province is pushing back. Reaction is swift from the Alberta government, both Premier Danielle Smith and the provincial sport minister standing by the law. The Premier, in a statement, calling the decision by Skate Canada disgraceful, in part saying women and girls have the right to play competitive sports in a safe and fair environment against other biological females, going on to say this view is held by a vast majority of Albertans and Canadians. Smith saying ultimately she expects an apology from Skate Canada, as it believes Skate Canada will have to adjust its policy. Those thoughts and comments were echoed by the Alberta Minister of Tourism and Sport. The Fairness and Safety in Sport Act is one of 3 Alberta laws affecting transgender people passed by Danielle Smith's government. Proponents say the laws protect children, and the law in question is specifically about ensuring girls are not facing opponents with biological advantages. However, those speaking out against the law say they're about stigmatizing and punishing those in the transgender community. The laws have sparked polarizing debate, Carrie, and legal challenges, prompting the provincial government to invoke the Charter's notwithstanding clause on all 3 to shield them from legal challenges, Carrie.
I'm sure we'll continue to watch this story develop. Scott Hurst joining us now this morning. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Carrie.
Well, major changes could be coming to Vancouver's downtown east side. After hearing from hundreds of public speakers, Vancouver City Council has approved a zoning overhaul for the area, which will allow for buildings as tall as 32 stories to be built. The city says it's an effort to speed up construction of new social housing. The changes also include replacing SRO stock and lowering the shelter rate from 33 to 20%. The majority of public speakers were opposed to changes. They argue the plan will increase displacement and homelessness by reducing the amount of affordable housing required in new buildings. The motion was approved by a 5-4 vote. Surrey police are investigating this morning after a man was struck by a shuttle-style bus. This happened just before 5 p.m. yesterday near Highway 10 and 180th Street. Video from the scene shows a community shuttle bus and multiple ambulances on the road. Paramedics treated a person at the scene before they were taken to hospital with minor injuries. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Well, there are new charges in a triple stabbing that rocked East Vancouver earlier this fall. Police say 54-year-old Viet Ki-John Lee has been charged with a third count of second-degree murder. He was already charged in the stabbing deaths of 2 women who were found back in September at an apartment near Joyce Street and Van Ness Avenue. A third victim was discovered 2 blocks away with life-threatening injuries and died 6 days later. Lee remains in custody and is due back in court January 13th. Police in Abbotsford have gotten a bird's-eye view of a dangerous driver in a stolen car.
Okay, he's arrestable for danger stop for sure. To pose an ongoing risk.
It happened last week. The Air One police helicopter was able to track the vehicle from above as officers coordinated efforts on the ground. The driver tried to run away. A spike belt and successful pit maneuver were finally able to bring the car to a stop. 40-year-old Dale McPherson has been charged with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle and flight from police. Canada's National School Food Program is now in action in Coquitlam, feeding thousands of students who would otherwise go without. The food program and breakfast club at Como Lake Middle School is part of Ottawa's $1 billion investment over 5 years to provide healthy meals to children. The Coquitlam School District serves 33,000 students across 71 schools, and the program helps support families and students. The district says nutritious meals improve attendance and academic performance.
Ensuring that every child has nutritious meals at school is more than just about food. It's about supporting health, learning, and equality. We appreciate the federal government's commitment to the National Food Program.
$7.2 million of funding has been allocated across the province. Well, a teen in Edmonton is getting a lot of attention for an impressive dunk.
Hitting that dunk and getting swarmed was epic. It was so epic. I didn't practice as much as people might think. It was just a couple times during practice.
So here's the shot. Jordan Hunter bounces it off the ceiling, giving him a perfect setup for this perfect dunk. This happened at an annual dunk contest at Jasper Place High School. And as expected, Jordan won. Here it is again. Wow. That is unbelievable. He says he didn't practice very many times. I don't know. I'm not buying this because that takes a lot of coordination. Timing?
Didn't practice. I'm just thinking of the kid that had to go on after him. Like, what do you do?
Right, yeah.
Enjoy my dunk.
Anyway, very cool that he managed to do that. Pulled it off. Way to go.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to get a lot of attention south of the border, you know,
yeah.
shows and stuff like that.
Maybe he'll join the Globetrotters.
Ooh.
Right?
Fun. Oh, the possibilities are endless if you can put a ball into a basket. All right, let's take a look at the forecast. Beginning with the current temperature in Vancouver, it is 6 degrees. It's clearing out there. Yes, the nasty wind, the nasty rain on the way out for now. More on that in just a second. Speaking of the wind, the special weather statement has been lifted for Metro Vancouver and Fraser Valley, but it is still very much in effect for much of the province. Basically, everywhere you see purple, there is a special weather statement in place for the wind. There is a weather warning in effect for parts of the eastern part of the province. A lot of snowfall is on the way today and in through the evening. And here's a look at your forecast highs. You can see the snowfall on the forecast here. Fort St. John, minus 21 today, and showers as you head closer toward the coast. As for your almanac for Vancouver, today we're going to hit a high of 8 degrees, which is above average, which is above what we hit last year. And the record was set back in 1994 when we hit 11 degrees. So again, the wind warning has been lifted, and it's clearing. The rain is clearing, but we will see some showers later on in the afternoon. So we will get a wee bit of sunshine out there today. So get out and enjoy it for the few hours that we have it, because we have another system moving in, and I'll have more coming up in the forecast. What to expect. Spoiler alert, more rain. Carrie.
Okay, well, at least we get the little sliver, because we deserve it after that wind and rainstorm overnight.
Little glimpse of hope this afternoon.
All right, thanks, Caroline. Let's take a look at the roads. We have a live shot to show you of the Oak Street Bridge. Here it is, a lot of volume there right now, no problems. We are still seeing backups in Abbotsford. A crash on Highway 1 westbound has been cleared, but plenty of volume still in that area. And in Chilliwack, a debris slide has closed a section of Vetter Road. Traffic control is in place at the Cultus Lake roundabout to divert traffic. You're asked to avoid that area. Well, we're in December. When will Metro Vancouver's ski season arrive?
Whatever snow we had up there, we washed it off.
Skiers are going to have to wait a little longer to hit the slopes. We'll check in on the North Shore Mountains with snow definitely on their Christmas wish list. But first, the do's and don'ts of recycling this holiday season. Which items can go in that bin so you stay off the naughty list? That's next. Well, 'tis the season for holiday waste, from cardboard to ribbons to bags, boxes. Are you recycling as much as you possibly can? Joining us with some simple tips to keep you off the naughty list and keep all the waste out of the landfill is Anne Golding from Recycle BC. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning.
I think that's the big question mark that we have when it comes to the holidays is there's a lot of waste, and some of it we think that we can't recycle, but a lot of it we can. So you're going to give us the lowdown here.
Exactly. A lot of it we can. There's a lot of packaging and paper gets generated during the holidays. People are entertaining. Yeah. They're unwrapping gifts. And so we want to make sure that we keep as much of those items out of the landfill as possible.
Perfect. So let's start with the wrapping paper, because this is always a big one. And some of that can and can't go in, right? Depending what it is?
Most of it can go in. So most paper is recyclable. Even like some of this, it's got like a little bit of shimmery glitter
metallic
on it. But it's okay. It's just a printing process. So if it's just paper, it's definitely goes in your bin.
Some of those metallic wrapping papers, though, those are able to go in as well?
If it's fully metal, if it's not paper, then no. But if it's made of paper, then it goes in the bin. Same with bags, paper bags. If there's, well, this one has a lot of extra applique. So if it's just a regular paper bag with like a little bit of glitter, like this other one right here, you see it's got a little bit of glitter, that's totally okay. That can go in your paper recycling. But if it's got all this fuzzy stuff, all this extra felt, sometimes it's googly eyes. Yeah, you don't want to put that in your bin.
Now here's a little surprise. Okay,
so
how about these?
In general, greeting cards, just paper greeting cards are good to go. But if it's a singing card, you want to take out the batteries. We do not want any batteries going in with your paper recycling. Also, bows. Make sure you take off any bows before you put your wrapping paper.
Those don't go in the bin, obviously.
Do not.
What about these little plastic windows that you might find on a piece of cardboard? Are they recyclable?
They are. So you want to just separate it, right? You take the little car out, and then the paper with the paper, plastic with plastic containers.
Tape dispensers?
Goes in your blue bin, with your containers. You just want to take out the paper part.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some of the entertaining things that we might have in our homes, like baking tins, etc.
Yeah, so people are coming over, you're making all kinds of fun meals, but there's things you can recycle. So aluminum pie tins, casserole dishes, those are all recyclable, and they go with your containers. You just want to give everything a quick rinse. You want to make sure there's not big chunks of food residue.
Crust on there,
exactly. But it doesn't have to be spotless, right? Just like a little bit of a rinse.
Good to know.
Hard plastic containers, metal cookie tins, and even these are plastic cups. So sometimes you don't want to use all those glass cups for guests. Those can break.
Rinse them out. Put them in the bin.
Rinse it out. Put it in the bin.
Okay.
Easy.
And a lot of other plastics as well you have over here. This is like the packaging that all the food comes in.
That's right. So a lot of this material is recyclable, but you need to take it to the depot. So yeah, things like bubble wrap, kind of chip bags, even avocado netting or lemon netting or netting from onions. So that's all recyclable at the Depot or London Drugs. Same with hard foam. So one thing I like to do is I like to set up a recycling station, right?
In your home.
In your home, yeah. Especially near where you're unwrapping gifts. So you set up like a big paper bag and you put all your greeting cards or your wrapping in there. Then you do a box for all your containers and you can easily transfer it to the bin, and maybe a clear bag for your depot only items.
So have it set up just for the holidays, just because there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts over the holidays.
That's right. Or even just for the day when you're having people over, so everybody knows where to put things.
Is there any big surprises that people maybe would think are recyclable but actually aren't?
You know, I can't think of anything.
So you can pretty much recycle everything.
You can recycle most things. Like I said, if there's like, you know, fuzzy appliques or like those things aren't recyclable. But if it's paper or if it's a hard plastic container or metal container, then yeah, that's all recyclable.
If they have questions, there a place that people can get more information?
Of course, recyclebc.ca/materials. So if you're not sure if something goes in your bin, you can check the website and get that information.
And this is great advice this morning. Keep people off the naughty list.
That's right. They don't want to be on that naughty list.
No, not at this time of year.
No.
Christmas is too close. And thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Carrie.
So is the U.S. border becoming an unfriendlier place for Canadians?
Within seconds, there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
We are going to hear the first-hand account from a Canadian caught in a surging crackdown at the U.S. border. And how an over-the-top holiday light display combining music and synchronized lights has gone viral.
The Millionaire Lottery is back. Your ticket supports specialized adult health care and research at VGH and UBC Hospital Foundation. They depend on people like you to help fund the latest equipment and life-saving research through the Millionaire Lottery. The early bird is worth over $227,000. Choose from a Corvette Stingray and a Hyundai Santa Fe, or a private jet experience plus $25,000 cash or $150,000 cash, plus 40 winners for $1,000 and 20 winners of $500. The Millionaire Lottery early bird deadline midnight Friday. Welcome back to CTV Your Morning Vancouver. It is 8:25 and it is Wednesday. And we've got another day with a lot of warnings. A lot of snowfall coming for the southern interior and parts of the northeastern part of the province. So take care driving out there. As for the wind warnings, that has been lifted for Metro Vancouver and for Fraser Valley. So that is very good news. Port Hardy, you're going to see a little bit of sun and also a little bit of showers today. High of 5 degrees, mix of sun and cloud in Campbell River and Comox, and a high of 10. Some showers in Port Alberni and Tofino between 7 and 8 degrees. Nanaimo, Victoria, mainly cloudy skies and highs of 9. Mainly cloudy and some showers. Also in Powell River and Sechelt, high of 7 there. Some mixing in Whistler, 2 degrees. Squamish, showers off and on throughout the day and a high of 8 degrees. As for the lower mainland, between 8 and 9 degrees. Yes, it's already seeing a little bit of sunshine out there. Yes, but don't get too excited because the rain returns tonight. I'm just a bearer of great news, aren't I? Yes. But we will have a bit of a reprieve in terms of all of this wet weather this afternoon, this morning and early this afternoon. Later on tonight, the rain returns and will remain with us through the weekend. So a high of 8 degrees today, mix of sun and cloud and some showers. We get a little bit of break, Carrie, this afternoon.
A tiny one. All right. We'll cling to that. Thanks for that. Well, every neighborhood has that one person who goes all out for Christmas, but for one man, that has turned into viral fame and even a few side gigs. ABC's Danny New has more on the over-the-top holiday light display.
In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Clark Griswold goes through a world of effort to set up one standard layer of lights on his house. So imagine if he saw the work of this father of two in Houston known as H-Town Frankie.
H-Town Frankie is a baller name.
Oh, thank you. As this former DJ and current IT expert combined his passions to program delightfully synchronized light shows.
Combination of creativity and song choice and choreographed silliness. So that's what makes it what it is. A lot of fun.
Now 8 years into this festive foray, Frankie has not only garnered millions of views and props from hip-hop legends, but he's even become a hometown staple of Houston's holiday celebrations. You're seeing a light show he set up this year for the city's downtown greenery. Houston! And he even recently teamed up with the Houston Texans when their mascot, Toro, got inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame.
Took me about 7 hours to do that one, actually.
How has this changed over the years? It used to be real mid, but now it's like lit.
But Frankie's biggest passion is his 2 daughters. We showed you how in 2023, he engineered a light show at the hospital where his youngest, Piper, underwent heart surgery. Today, Piper is doing just fine, and here's what she thinks of her dad's dazzling displays filling up their front yard.
Are you proud of how famous your dad's become?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I appreciate that, man. That's nice.
I didn't catch what he does for a living, but I can see him, I don't know, spinning this into some kind of career now. I mean, he could set up other people's displays.
Seems as well on his way, too. He's a designer and engineer. So see, Clark Griswold, there is a future.
Right. A better one. It's a better one out there.
Is the house on fire?
I bet he's something in an engineering realm.
Right.
How do you... IT expert, yeah. How does he synchronize the music to the lights, right?
Like, so good.
He has to have figured it out in the back room.
And interesting choices of music, too. Like,
I want to be his friend.
The types of music you would necessarily think of holiday light displays, but it works.
Yeah.
It works.
And I love the reason. There's always heart there. He first did it for his daughter to brighten her spirits when she was in hospital. Now he just does it for everybody.
Yeah. Very beautiful.
You can go clubbing and celebrate.
I love that. Yeah, do it all. Do it all this holiday season.
It's lit.
8:29. Here's the view of Grouse Mountain, or it's from Grouse Mountain. Actually, it looks like a beautiful morning out right now. Wow, what a difference like an hour makes. When I came in this morning, it did not look like this, everyone. Here now is a look at your top stories. In the meantime, tens of thousands of BC Hydro customers are waiting for the lights to come back on after a windstorm blew through. Our Reagan Hasegawa is standing by at the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal with more. But Reagan, it looks like those winds aren't as strong as they were earlier this morning.
Good morning, Carrie. It's now the calm after the storm. Those wind warnings across the South Coast have mostly been ended by Environment Canada, and we are seeing things die down here at BC Ferries wind-wise. We actually ended up seeing no cancellations this morning, which was welcome news to those trying to head in and out of the Lower Mainland today. So let's recap what we saw overnight. According to Environment Canada, there were wind gusts up to 80 kilometers per hour in Metro Vancouver, up to 100 in the Fraser Valley. Those winds combined with heavy rain brought down trees and debris overnight, damaging power lines and electrical equipment. BC Hydro says crews and contractors are now working non-stop, and restoration efforts are expected to continue for several hours throughout the day. Officials are also responding to reports of down lines, which are considered to be an emergency. Anyone who sees one of those is asked to call 911 and stay back at least 10 meters. In Abbotsford, the school district says some schools may have late starts or closures today due to power outages. Those include Dr. Roberta Barndar, Chief Dan George, South Poplar Traditional, and Alexander Elementary. So while the winds have now died down, the real work now begins, with crews now trying to get on top of tens of thousands of power outages across the Lower Mainland. Carrie?
Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us. Thank you. An alert system that was supposed to warn people about floods and dangerous conditions is used all over the country. Many are asking why it wasn't used here. The alert ready texts are sent twice a year to ensure that the system is working. British Columbia continues to lag far behind other provinces in using the technology, despite expanding its use beyond tsunami warnings. The provincial government came under fire for not using the system to warn Fraser Valley residents during the flooding in 2021, and now again last week.
It's supposed to be used to alert British Columbians in the event of natural disasters. Well, if a flood doesn't qualify as a natural disaster, I don't know what the heck does.
Hundreds of people were forced from their homes by floodwaters, but some found out about evacuation orders on social media. The company that makes Alert Ready points out officials can target the text to specific neighborhoods with instructions on what to do. Ottawa's new Buy Canadian policy is now in effect.
We're looking for is meaningful economic activity and Canadian content as we evaluate contracts and bids for federal contracts.
The policy puts the priority on Canadian products and workers for federal contracts. To count as a Canadian supplier, a company needs to have more than just an address here. The company also needs to have meaningful economic activity in Canada. The first phase of the policy applies to contracts worth $25 million or more. To new signs, the world's longest undefended border is getting unfriendlier. Data is showing a surge in the number of Canadians, including children, being held by U.S. authorities. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
Thousands of people use the Ambassador Bridge every day. It's North America's busiest border crossing. And it was here that Greg Williams was detained by U.S. Border Patrol as he tried to enter the United States.
And then it was turn the car off, hands on the dash, and within seconds there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
Williams says he was handcuffed and taken into a small room inside the nearby building. He was photographed and fingerprinted before ever knowing why he was being detained.
I wasn't worrying about being sent to some, Ecuadorian supermax, which is very much white privilege of me, that it's like, I don't have to worry about those things, but that's also like, nobody should.
Turns out there's another Greg Williams with some sort of a record that prompted the detention of this Greg Williams, an Ontario musician.
This happened because I have the same name, and that's crazy.
Williams was released after a couple of hours, but his story highlights the growing number of Canadians being caught up in the immigration crackdown underway south of the border. More than 200 Canadians have spent time in ICE custody at some point since January, compared with 137 detained in 2024. Records show at least 6 children were among those detained. While a handful of Canadians had felony convictions or other criminal records, the vast majority were picked up for visa violations or less serious infractions, which experts say marks a major shift in policy.
For the most part, from what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada, but are being detained more frequently. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump has expanded his travel ban, barring nationals of 5 additional countries from entering the U.S. The list now also includes Syria, South Sudan, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, as well as travelers with documents issued by the Palestinian Authority. Together with the countries targeted in June, there are now more than 25 countries with U.S. travel bans or restrictions. The White House says it's a matter of security. Critics call it an attempt to demonize people based on where they're from. Will it be a white Christmas on the local ski hills?
Whatever snow we had up there, we washed it off.
We are going to check in on the North Shore Mountains, where so far the ski season, looks bleak. Is snow on the way? Also,
it's kind of a lost art. There's very few people doing it in Canada.
How a master glassblower is rekindling an uncommon art just in time for the holidays.
Well, we are down to crunch time. With Christmas less than 10 days away now, what are you gifting yourself or others on your list? Best Buy Canada's Kirsten Dixon joins us this morning with a holiday tech gift guide. Good morning to you, Kirsten.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming back. Sorry.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So excited to talk about tech, because who doesn't want to unwrap a tech gift under the tree this year? So what are some of the top gifts of the season?
Yeah, so we'll start in the middle. This is the Nintendo Switch 2. This one is fun for the whole family, even if you're not together. With the new game chat feature, you can actually play with up to 12 friends, and using the built-in microphone, you can chat with them. If you want to connect to a compatible camera, you can even see each other. And yeah, you figured it out. So you can use it as a console at home, or you can even take it on the go and play all over the place, which is really fun.
That's so fun. So basically these come apart, these two end pieces, and then you can play just yourself or with a few people, as you mentioned.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is super fun because I think that's a great holiday bonding experience. If you want everyone to get off their phones, just pick up a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, for sure. The Nintendo
Super
Switch
fun.
2, it's, definitely one of our top gifts of the season.
And lots of fun games as well. Okay, while I turn this off, tell us what we have over here because this is really enticing to me.
Yeah, so this one is a few different things in one. So we were playing around with this before we started, and this is the Instax Lee Play Plus. So think about kind of instant camera. You can point, take the photo, print it out. This is taking that to the next level. So we have the camera over here, and then we have the camera in the back as well for the selfie.
I love it. So we can just take a quick selfie
and then
it'll print
that out. But then also you can connect it to your smartphone. So if you have any photos on there that you'd like to print, you can print those in a hurry too. So super fun around the holidays if you want to send people home with some little keepsakes after dinner, something like that.
That is such a great idea.
And then my favorite part is the screen on the back because you can actually review and edit your photos before you print them. So
it's not as instant as the older models.
No, you can do it right away if you want, but you can also have kind of some of that fun to make sure it's exactly the photo you want before printing.
That's such a great party favor. Take a quick photo.
Right? Isn't that
label
cute?
it Christmas 2025. I love it. Now over here, we're focusing on some home items. So tell us about the Google Nest.
Yeah, so we have the Google Nest doorbell and the Google Nest outdoor camera, and both of these are with Gemini. So these are super great if you have somebody that recently bought a home, or maybe even for yourself if you're planning to do some Boxing Day shopping and you're going to have some packages arriving that you want to keep an eye on.
Yes.
So these with Gemini, that means you're going to have a little AI assistant in the app. So instead of having to scroll through footage and see if your package was delivered, you can ask it, when was my package delivered, or summarize today's events, and it'll pull up all of that for you. They're also both 2K video, so you're going to get super clear footage both day and night, so you always kind of know what's going around with your home.
Excellent. Kirsten, so many great ideas here, whether it's for yourself, family bonding, keepsakes, or of course security. Great ideas. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And folks can go online to bestbuy.ca to check out their full holiday gift guide and find out way more, especially about Boxing Day as well.
Yes, Boxing Day. You're not going to want to miss that. Big door crashers. It's going to be limited quantities, but super hot deals. So everyone should be sure to get there early to get the best deals.
Thank you so much for your time with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. Well, skiers are still waiting for the season to start with little snow on the local mountains. Rainstorms and warm December weather have delayed opening day. But as CTV's Ben Nesbitt reports, there is hope that change is coming.
With heavy rainfall and above average temperatures, the snowpack levels on North Shore mountains continue to be lacking. But experts say there is hope. By the end of the week, things could be shifting in the right direction. The empty chairlifts or closed signs aren't what skiers or the mountains want to see 16 days into December. At this time last year, both Cypress and Gross had been open for 3 weeks, while Seymour was just about to open. This season, Environment Canada says the recent very wet weather depleted what were already low snow levels.
When we managed to put those atmosphere rivers and pointed them right at the south coast of British Columbia, we've bounded freezing levels up substantially to well over 2,500 meters. And any precipitation that was coming down in the form of rain. So whatever snow we had up there, we washed it off.
None of the three have solidified opening dates yet, but Seymour says it plans to provide an update Thursday, while Cypress says it's ready to go once there's enough snow, pointing out its latest ever opening came 30 years ago on December 23rd. Back then, we didn't have the snowmaking system we have now. We're much better equipped now to respond quickly once Mother Nature gives us the green light, the mountain said in a social media post. And according to EC, that green light could be on its way.
We're seeing much more normal light conditions where the top of the North Shore Mountains is going to be seeing temperatures low enough to produce snowfall.
The cooler temperatures, potentially good news for skiers and snowboarders eager to get their seasons underway. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, West Vancouver.
Oh my gosh, it just looks dismal. I know a lot of skiers are waiting for the season to start. I feel bad for people who have bought the season's pass and they just, been waiting to get out there and not quite yet.
Oh, that's first snowfall is going to feel really, really good for them. Unfortunately, for them, it's not coming yet.
Not quite yet. Not too wet.
Not yet. Too wet, and as Ben said, the wet weather and above seasonal temperatures not conducive to skiing. But let's check in with the forecast, shall we? Beginning with the current temperature. Yes, there's sun out there right now. It is so exciting. My nose print is up against the window looking at the sunshine. It's 6 degrees, but it's not going to stay that way, friends. Yes, but let's take a look at the statements and advisories. Yes, special weather statement is still in place for the areas in purple. It is shrinking, and the special weather statement, the wind warnings have been lifted for Vancouver and the Fraser Valley, and it's lifted for much of the province, but still very much in effect for parts of it. Snowfall warning still in effect for the northeastern part of the province and parts of the southern interior. Up to 45 centimeters expected to fall in some areas. And here's a look at your forecast for the province today. Look at Port St. John, minus 21 degrees. See Kamloops, Kelowna, a mix of sun and cloud later on today, and some stormy weather along the coast. As for your day planner for Vancouver, again, the sun is out right now, but don't get excited because the rain will return this afternoon and later on into this evening, and it will remain with us through the rest of the week and into the weekend. So again, we're talking about the skiing forecast, not anytime soon down in this area, and that's your forecast. Now let's check in with Mona.
Whether you're gearing up to host friends and family around your kitchen table or planning a delicious contribution to a potluck, we are showing you some ready-to-serve bites to satisfy everyone at the table this holiday season with the help of Chef Josh Gale this morning. Good morning to you.
Hi, Mona. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Excited to be talking about some of these appies. Now, what is the star of the show on theme today?
Well, the star of our show today, Canadian eggs.
Yes. I'm excited to be talking about them. Obviously, eggs are so versatile. Use them in your main dish, your side dishes, your desserts. So what did you make for us today, and how did you do it?
So today we've got these crispy potato and egg stacks. They look impressive and delicious, but honestly, these were super easy. Just thinly sliced potatoes, caramelized onions, and some eggs, baked together, cut in these gorgeous little squares.
I love it. How do you keep them together? What's in the middle?
Eggs.
Okay,
yeah.
Eggs.
Our secret hero ingredient today.
It's the glue.
There it is.
That keeps us together.
You got
it.
it.
So whenever you're cooking with eggs, obviously you want to make sure that you have stuff for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you're hosting family. So when would you serve these?
I mean, honestly, I would eat these all day, every day. To me, this is like a perfect appetizer before dinner. The best thing is if you make these for friends and somehow have leftovers, you can reheat them and they make the perfect little brunch snack.
Okay,
yeah.
I like the sound of that. Now, you put some stuff on top. While you tell us what's on top here, also tell us why it's important for folks to support their local egg farmers this time of year.
Absolutely. So these little egg stacks, we're just dressing them up with a little bit of, this is just a super simple garlic aioli, and just some little sliced chives, just for a pretty little garnish.
And how did you make the aioli?
This is literally just roasted garlic, a little bit of black pepper, eggs, and some olive oil blended together. Little chives, they almost look like little Christmas trees.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, it's really important to support Canadian egg farmers. I think we need to give a shout out to our over 1,200 Canadian egg farmers across Canada who make sure that we've got fresh eggs on store shelves all year round.
Especially the farmers right now in the Fraser Valley who might be going through some, dire climate change issues. So it is really important to support them year round, but especially right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the best way to do it is buy Canadian eggs and make delicious little dishes just like this.
Absolutely. So when you're in the grocery store, what should folks be looking for?
So when you're in the grocery store shopping for eggs, just make sure that you find cartons that have that grade A logo on the carton. That means that you're shopping for only the finest, freshest Canadian eggs.
Do you keep your eggs in the fridge or on the counter?
In Canada, we always keep our eggs in the fridge.
Always keep our eggs in the fridge. Yeah. That's a great tip. Yeah. And if folks want to find out more great, excellent recipes, you can head online to eggs.ca. There's so many there, including this one.
Absolutely. Go check them out. Make these dishes at home.
Should we try one?
Let's dig in.
All right. Cheers to you, Chef Josh. Thank you so much.
Enjoy. That's good.
Excellent. A close call inspires the spirit of giving.
I always thought without them, I wouldn't be here.
Still to come, the story behind a remarkable Christmas gift 35 years in the making. We'll explain. Stay with us. Welcome back. As Canadians deck their halls, one man in New Brunswick is busy working overtime. His delicate glass ornaments are in high demand, and one popular design may surprise you. Here's CTV's Sarah Plowman.
Ornaments can hold meaning, spark memories or thoughts of loved ones. Behind each one made here is Curtis Dion, a master glass blower.
It's kind of a lost art. There's very few people doing it in Canada.
The holidays bring in a lot of orders. He sometimes crafts more than 100 ornaments a day.
We do the hummingbird, the dragonfly, the bumblebee. We do a mushroom. We do a pickle.
Each demands precision and practice. Like dipping a spoon into a pot of honey, Dion dips a blowpipe into a furnace of molten glass, twirls it, and rolls it in color.
And then we're going to hold it upwards and compress a little bit of air into the pipe so that a bubble starts to emerge.
Like a dance, Dion and his assistant move quickly. Owen Steele has perfected the last touch, the hook.
And while I'm doing it, I'm also sort of in that meditative, almost Zen state.
In high demand this year is the pickle.
I'm giving it as a gift.
That comes with a game of hide and seek.
Whoever hides the pickle has a special gift, and whoever finds the pickle receives the gift.
Heather Rogers is after a snowflake.
I just feel like they're unique and they're handcrafted.
Each ornament is a chance to share a piece of his passion and connect to the community.
I think the ornaments that people put on their trees become part of like a lasting memory, part of their tradition, and it gives us the opportunity to become a bit of a household name.
Adding his touch to a family's tradition. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, St. John.
Cool to see how they make those.
Yeah.
They blowing into that pipe like that?
Yeah.
It's going to be hot.
It is really hot. I think you have to be very careful.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I think it's a dangerous profession.
Where'd my eyebrows go?
Right. So a woman's brush with death has inspired an epic giving campaign. For decades, she has sent a holiday care package from West Vancouver to Thetis Island. The volunteers on the receiving end have never met her, but they say she feels like part of their team. Adam explains why in the Sawatsky sign-off.
Below the clouds, Keiko Mori was vacationing on one of the remote Gulf Islands when she broke her ankle on a hike and fell into a cave.
And I fell about 18 feet. And luckily, there was a rotten log where I landed, surrounded by all rock beds.
Although she was grateful the log broke her fall, Keiko couldn't move and spent an hour and a half on the cave floor before being rescued by members of the Thetis Island Volunteer Fire Department.
It was a horrendous job to come down, put me on a stretcher, carry me all the way up from the cave.
And because there's no hospital on the island, Keiko was transported by boat to be treated for a broken back.
Good news is I was not going to be quadriplegic.
After being bedridden for months back home on the mainland,
some tea.
Keiko mailed the Christmas care package to the volunteers as thanks.
I always thought without them, I wouldn't be here.
And seeing as she's never stopped being grateful for every day, including seeing her son grow up to make her a grandmother, Keiko's never stopped sending the department Christmas gifts.
I believe it's 35 years.
Every year?
Yes, every single year just before Christmas.
Fire Chief Janine Caldback says that even though the original members of the rescue team are long gone, Keiko still sends hot drinks, sweet treats, and a letter updating the current team on how she spent the past year.
We feel like she's part of our family as well, even though nobody has met her. She's important to us, and we're just thrilled that we're important to her.
And Keiko plans to keep sending gifts for as long as she can, because it's important to recognize the volunteers who keep helping whenever they can.
And this year, amazingly, I got this photo from the fire department holding my gifts. That's so great. So I'm going to put in a frame and put on the wall.
A reminder of how this department's life-saving gift 35 years ago keeps giving, by Keiko living every moment of that life with gratitude that can't be contained. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
So beautiful. She does that, and she includes photos so they can see that when they do good work, it has a real impact on people.
35 years she's been sending those care packages.
Well, if you receive that, and I've learned that a couple of times this year, you are grateful. You're grateful to them, and you're grateful that they're there. So.
You going to send a care package to some people this year? Yeah.
Okay, I guess I got you.
Throw it out there.
Let's do it now. Bye, everyone. Enjoy your day. Sorry to call you out on that.
Exactly.